Welcome back to this week's very special edition of the Analysts. Jack Mason alongside Ben Willoughby. Got a lot of great rivalry games, and we're talking about the top four. It'll be a good episode.
To kick off this special Thanksgiving week edition, we're going to talk about the rankings that go Bama, Oregon, Florida State, Mississippi State.
So nothing really shaking up there. TCU, number 5, 6, Ohio State. Then we got Baylor at 7, and UCLA jumped up one spot due to Ole Miss losing to Arkansas.
The big debate this week has really been, will a non-conference champion Mississippi State get over a potential Big Ten conference champion in Ohio State? What's your take on that?
Even a Big 12 champion in TCU, but in my personal opinion, I think that Ohio State is going to find their way in the top 4. I think that they have more quality wins than TCU. They beat Michigan State in a very big matchup, and in UCLA they had a good win. Tons of stuff can happen. Baylor, just a lot of stuff that's gonna have to fall into place. But I think the top 3, if everybody wins it out, which they pretty much should, then it'll stay the same.
I think the team that needs the most help for me is definitely Baylor, and we'll see what happens with that inquisitive 4 spot.
Here we go. Now we're going to talk about our picks. Now we're going to talk about our rivalry games on this week's edition of The Analyst. First, we got a pretty significant rivalry game. Georgia Bulldogs, Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Who you got, Ben?
I got Georgia. Nick Chubb in that running game is going to be too much for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, a very improved team from last year. Had some key wins against Clemson and other teams earlier in the year, but I think Georgia's too much.
I agree. I just think that Georgia Tech, once they see a SEC defense of Georgia's caliber, then the triple option will not work. So I see Georgia just trouncing Georgia Tech.
The defense that shut down Auburn. Our next game is Wisconsin-Minnesota. Jack, who you got?
This is an interesting Big Ten matchup. I think Melvin Gordon is going to run down Minnesota's throat. He's a very great back, and he's very deserving to be in the conversation for the Heisman. So I got Wisconsin.
I agree with Jack on that one. I think Melvin Gordon is just going to absolutely run wild against Minnesota in a game that has some bad blood with the trophy situation and everything. This game has major implications for the Big Ten title, and I got Wisconsin.
Yep. Okay. So in this year's Egg Bowl, Mississippi State's traveling to Oxford. Ole Miss opens as a 1-point favorite, which I think is very interesting. Who you got in this one?
I'm going to go with the odds here. I got Ole Miss at home. This team, a different team. Rattled a week ago against Arkansas. I think they're going to be rejuvenated. Hugh Freeze will have his guys ready to play. I got Ole Miss.
They did beat Alabama at home, which was a very good win, but their resume is kind of sliding now. I just got Mississippi State. I just think too many injuries have plagued the Ole Miss Rebels. So that's what I got. All right. Next game, we got the Ducks of Oregon heading to Oregon State. Oregon State, they did knock off the Arizona State Sun Devils and knocking them out of playoff contention. It could be interesting to see whether they could do that to Oregon, but I just don't see it happening. I think Marcus Mariota is going to put this team on his back, prove that he is the Heisman winner, and they're going to go in there and win.
I agree with you. I think Oregon wins a close one down in Corvallis and rolls right into that Pac-12 title game down at Levi Stadium. Sorry for my miss in the earlier weeks, and I got Oregon.
So now we have Florida traveling down to Doak Campbell Stadium to take on the Florida State Seminoles. This is Will Muschamp's last game, so we could see if the players are into it and maybe pull off the upset. Who you got?
I got Florida State in this one. I just think Jameis Winston and Jimbo Fisher, really got that team playing at a high level lately. Even though they've been coming from behind in every game, they might get down early, but obviously they've been there before. I got Florida State.
I think once Florida State comes out for the second half, they'll win. So now we got the Iron Bowl, probably most talked about game because of last year. Probably one of the most exciting finishes in college football from any perspective. So we got Auburn going down to T-Town, take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Who you got?
I got Bama in this one. I think Auburn might jump out to a good start, maybe 14-0 or so, with the high-powered offense, just with all the bad blood in this game. But I think Alabama, Nick Saban's going to have them ready to play. I got Bama.
Yeah, I just think that there's too much motivation to be had for Alabama after that finish last year. I got the Crimson Tide. I think it's going to be an explosive game. And as much as I like Bama's defense, I don't think it's going to hold up well. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. That, guys, thanks very much for watching the Thanksgiving and Rivalry edition of The Analyst. Now we got your own JC Films and our guest speaker, Colton Belsnyder. So, signing off.
Thanks for watching.
Jack Mason, Ben Willoughby. Have a great Thanksgiving.
What's up, guys? Joey here. Today we have our guest picker, Colton Belsnyder, here to pick some of the games that the other guys picked. So let's get into it. So Florida versus Florida State. Who you got in this one?
I got Florida pulling off the upset against Florida State.
I have the same. I think Florida, who beat a very good Georgia team, who's number 9 now. I just got them pulling off the upset with Muschamps last game. Next, we have Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Who you got in this game?
I got Georgia. Their run attack is going to be too much for Georgia Tech.
I got Georgia Tech here, and I think they're going to pull out the upset. And so, go Tech. Next game, we got Alabama-Auburn, the Iron Bowl.
I think it's pretty obvious who's going to come out with the win in this game. It's going to be Alabama.
I completely agree. I think Alabama's defense is going to let Auburn score some, but I think we're ultimately going to come out with the win. Next, we got Mississippi State and Ole Miss, the Egg Bowl. Who you got in this game?
I got Mississippi State. Dak Prescott was once the Heisman runner. I think he's still an elite quarterback. I think Mississippi State comes out with the win.
I agree. I think Ole Miss is just having a lot of trouble offensively and defensively recently, and I just think Mississippi State is going to just kill Ole Miss.
Dismantle them.
So our last game we got here, the Civil War, Oregon at Oregon State. Oregon State, who did upset Arizona State, who was in the playoff, whatever you call it. So who you got?
I got Oregon. Marcus Mariota. He's an elite quarterback. He's very fast, very efficient. I think Oregon pulls out.
I think Oregon State has a big chance of winning in this game, especially at home, but I just think Oregon will come out with the win. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks to our guest, Colton. And make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and have a happy Thanksgiving. See you next time.
Next game up for me and Ben, we got Florida traveling to Tallahassee to take on the Seminoles of Florida State, the Criminals. Delete that. Sorry.
Got those two inmates handing it to each other.
I had to put that in there.